that. Now, first of all, let's talk about how SEO actually works today. I'm sure most of you are pretty familiar with this screen here, where most teams currently who are working with marketing or SEO are dealing with 6 to 8 hours of weekly work just comparing keyword data, switching between different tools like Ahrefs and Search for SEO and SEMrush and Answer the Public. So this is what most people's screen look like, where they're jumping between all of these different tools. And the biggest pain point here is that these tools don't communicate with each other. So most probably you are first going to Ahrefs or SEMrush, then going to Answer the Public or something, and then compiling all that data in Google spreadsheets or Microsoft spreadsheets there. And then there's a lot of back and forth involved with competitor research or the overall strategizing kind of thing as well. So it's almost like being a chef in a kitchen where all the ingredients are placed in different buildings, and you're sort of spending more time running between buildings, gathering those ingredients than actually cooking food. So that is the problem we are here to solve, but in terms of an SEO point of view. And before we look at the solution, let's understand what an AI agent actually is. So unlike ChatGPT, which gives you one-off responses, an AI agent is a system that understands complex queries. For example, help me rank for a specific keyword in US. Based on that, just like a human would do, it basically creates a plan which involves multiple steps. So if you think about how human SEO specialists do it, they usually break down that task into multiple different steps. That's basically a plan, like how would they go about researching, where would they get their data from, all those kinds of things. Based on that plan, they basically go to various tools, whether it is Ahrefs or your Search Console or maybe Answer the Public and all these different tools to gather those different data points, collect all that information, compile it in a spreadsheet or a sort of like a research workbook kind of thing where you are sort of understanding that information. And then finally, the SEO person would actually come up with the recommendations or the actionable strategy that needs to be taken into account. So that is how a traditional SEO person works. An AI agent is also, something that is trained to work in a similar way. So it sort of replicates the manual workflows that humans do on a day-to-day basis, but just much faster, incorporating all the tools instead of them being isolated. So a lot of people work in silos with different tools, but AI agents talk to different tools to make sure everything links together. And then based on all of that research, they come up with like a summarized action plan for you to take action on, whether you act on it manually or whether you use AI itself to go ahead and do the content briefs or content creation or optimization, all those other kinds of things. Now, comparing with ChatGPT, we can think of like, let's say if you ask ChatGPT about ranking for a specific keyword, it's almost like using John's weather forecasting stone, where there are like these standard sort of situations set there, like standard conditions being set, basic set of rules like if the stone is wet, it means it is raining. If the stone is dry, it means it is not raining. But it's just basically making generic observations based on some outdated principles. AI agent, on the other hand, it's sort of like having access to real-time weather radar and satellite data. So it's not just relying on those hard-coded rules, but it's actually pulling in live data from your Ahrefs or Search Console and checking competitor rankings on your Google SERP in real time. And then based on all of that, it is giving you actionable insights based on real-time trends and what is happening right now. So that's sort of the difference between what ChatGPT does versus what something like an agent would do there. And what does this mean in practice is basically a lot of time being saved, a lot of resources being saved, a lot of headache being saved, and a lot of money also being saved here. So research cycles, we are already seeing that research cycles are being reduced from 2 weeks to a couple of days or couple of minutes. More accurate strategies because they're based on actual data. Faster response time to market changes. As many of you know probably that SEO in 2025 is not just about Google anymore. It's also about where your audience is. Your audience could be on AI platforms like Perplexity, ChatGPT Search, or even Google AI overviews for that matter. Or they could also be, if it's an e-commerce audience, they might be directly searching on Amazon. If they are a video specific audience, then they might be just querying YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. So search is kind of distributed in 2025. and you need to have a faster response time so that you can iterate on your strategies and market changes and work fast and move fast, basically. So these aren't just theoretical benefits, these are actual results that teams using AI agents are already seeing right now. Now I'll just jump straight over to the demo where we'll talk about a variety of different use cases, a variety of different workflows that most of you are probably doing manually right now. And we'll just try to sort of semi-automate or automate them using AI agents. And you'll see the time and the resources that you can save based on that. So I'll just take a second to quickly change my screen. So yeah, hopefully everyone can see my screen now. So I'm here on the Writesonic dashboard. And here you can see we have this thing called SEO and Content AI agent. This is like the one of the most advanced, like the first AI agent specifically built for SEO, content, and all these different marketing use cases. So you can just type in a query here, or what I like to do is I just go to ChatSonic, which is like a bigger view of this, and make sure your AI agent here is turned on. I'll give a quick walkthrough of what this sort of looks like right now. What are the different things available here, first of all? So first thing you'll notice is that there is this green bar here, which shows, a bunch of different marketing tool integrations here, like Ahrefs, for example. So these are the tools currently available. There are some other ones also which are not shown here. So of course we have Ahrefs, for all the SEO data, like the keyword data and all that. We have Keywords Everywhere, as well as Google Keyword Planner as well. We have Writesonic for topic clustering and content creation, those kinds of things. We also have Google Search Console. For Search Console, you basically need to connect to your own account, of course. For Ahrefs and all these other ones, actually, you don't need to pay a dime. You don't need to connect your Ahrefs account. You don't need to purchase an Ahrefs subscription. We automatically connect to Ahrefs, Keywords Everywhere, all of these tools in the background. And it's basically, you don't need to pay anything for that. We handle all of that cost internally. Similar to this, we are also coming up with many other integrations. So for example, Reddit is also already available. It's not shown here. Google search is also inbuilt. And we are working on integrating some other ones like, YouTube and TikTok search and all of those other tools as well. So do write down in the chat, actually, if you would like to have any other SEO or marketing tools that you use on a day-to-day basis in your manual workflows that you would like us to integrate as part of this agent. So we are working on bringing new tools every week. So every week we'll be pushing out 2 or 3 new tools. So do mention if there's any specific one that you would like us to implement. But moving on. So yeah, you can see the integrations here. At the same time, when you come over here, you'll see that there are 2 different agents we have available. I'll talk about both of them. First of all, we have the SEO agent. This is what we'll be mostly focusing on. And secondly, we also have a content agent. And this content agent is not like ChatGPT, which gives you just generic content. I'll talk more about it in a bit. But most of the times, I think you can just leave it on an auto setting. So what the auto setting for is that it will automatically, it's like a AI CMO. So it's like how a chief marketing officer works. The CMO basically works with his team of agents, where you have, let's say, SEO agent and a content agent in the team right now. Slowly we'll also be adding, let's say, a social media agent or like a, trend analysis agent, those kinds of things. But let's imagine auto mode is your AI CMO. It will automatically pick when to use the SEO agent, when to use the content agent, or when to use both of them together. So it will automatically pick the right ones and get the job done for you. So in most of the cases, you can just leave it on an auto setting. Apart from that, you also have a bunch of prompts available here. You can filter them by categories. You can also go and check any of them. So for example, if I go on this one, this is the prompt. You can just enter in your variable here. So in this case, the variable is URL, like which URL you want to do an analysis on. So you just need to enter that here and click the use prompt button, and you don't need to type your own prompt. So if you find any of those use cases you want to do here, some of the workflows that we have already added, then feel free to just use one of the templates. Or of course, you can come in and write your own prompt as well. So we'll start first of all with a very, common query, let's say, which is that, let's say if you wanted to rank for a specific keyword in a specific location. So I've already have like collated a bunch of different queries which I'll be going through so that I don't take too much time just typing because I'm very slow at typing. So I'll just say something like, I want to rank a new SEO AI agent tool of Writesonic for the keyword AI SEO in the US, right? Very straightforward query. You don't need to be an SEO expert to write it. Just you're just mentioning what you want the tool to do, sort of how you would talk to an SEO agency or how you would talk to like an SEO expert, right? So that's all I'm doing here. You also can click this improve prompt button if you want to further optimize this prompt, but I'll just hit the send button for now and make sure that this switch is turned on. That means the agent is going to be used. Otherwise, it will just work like a normal ChatGPT kind of thing, right? Now, this will take a couple of seconds. I'll walk you through what it will do. So first of all, this is doing the reasoning. So if you see here, you might have seen this on O3 Mini on OpenAI or ChatGPT. You might have also seen this on DeepSeek, the new Chinese model that came about. So what this is doing first is it's trying to reason through this query or the prompt that you give to understand what exactly it needs to do. It is basically thinking through that. Once it is done with this thinking, what it will do is it will break down that query. As we were discussing, it will break it down into a plan which will have multiple different steps. So for example, if I see here, the first step in its plan is to analyze the keyword AI SEO, do a keyword research on that. So that's the very first step it is doing. Second step it is doing is it will check the SERP landscape, as in like it will go to Google and check what kind of results are ranking there, right? Third, it is finding out about Writesonic's SEO AI agent because that is what I asked it to help me rank on, right? So it's doing all of this analysis automatically. It went through so many different websites. It's getting user reviews, testimonials. It's doing a competitive analysis that who are the competitors of Writesonic's SEO AI agent, in which case it discovered these different tools, SEO.ai and all this. It is finding the best practice for making landing pages for a SaaS company. It automatically identified that we are a SaaS product. And then based on all of that, it will then sort of start creating a research report. So basically, there are two reports that we have here. One is a research report, which is this sort of yellow gold report, where it first does that analysis, collates all that data. And then the final output or the final report is where you'll see the actual actionable suggestions come about. Now, while this is doing its thing, let me just go back and also walk through some of these steps that it did here. So as I was mentioning, everything here is data backed. It's not some generic stuff that ChatGPT is making up. So in this case, if it is mentioning that it is analyzing the keyword AI SEO, it actually used Ahrefs to do a keyword research. And you can also click on this full report button to see all those data points. And all of this is directly coming from Ahrefs. It's like actual Ahrefs data if you go to Ahrefs and check it out. So in this case, it is doing a keyword research on AI SEO. It identified that it has a 27,000 search volume, difficulty is high, cost per click, traffic potential, the intent, it's like informational intent it identified. And then after that, we also have all these terms. In terms of terms, you have same terms, you have related keywords, you have also rank for keywords, you have long tail keywords, all of those things, right? All of this data coming from Ahrefs. So that's the first thing it did. Second thing is, if you see it, analyze the SERP landscape. If I again click on full report, these are all the results that are sort of ranking on Google right now. So you can see it identifies also the SERP sort of patterns as well, or the things like, for example, the first result here is this one. Second, both of these are websites. But then it also mentioned that then the next four elements, there are the people also asked questions, which is like, can SEO be done by AI? What is the best AI for SEO? And then again, you have the next organic result, which is Salesforce one. So it's basically telling you the type, telling you the top keyword for that specific page. And like that, you can see all the top 10 or 20 sort of SERP results for the AI SEO keyword here. And this is in the US. If you, for example, change it to, instead of US, you mentioned, let's say, Germany, it will do the same thing for the German SERP landscape. Next thing here, as I was talking about, is it went through, because of course the LLM does not know what Writesonic's SEO AI agent is. So it did comprehensive research on what Writesonic's SEO AI agent is, what is the pricing and all that. So it went through all of our Writesonic docs and landing pages. It went through G2, it went through YouTube, it went through Product Hunt, Trustpilot, all of the reviews and testimonials it read through. Then it went through the competitors, as I already mentioned. So based on all this, it identified and learned more about the product. Then basically it understood the best practices for writing a SaaS product page, like a landing page. So it went to all of these websites and it learned what are the best practices in terms of the structure and all those things for a SaaS landing page. And then, yeah, these are the two reports it created. Let's jump into the report now. So this first one is a research analysis report. Um, Again, this is not something that you have to read. If you feel like reading, if you want to see the thought process that the agent took, I would recommend reading this. But you can also maybe sometimes read it. Otherwise, you can also directly skip to the final report. You don't have to read this. This is basically for you to understand that, okay, this is where the data came from and all that, right? So I'll go through this once. So in the research analysis report in our use case, first of all, it identified the core features and capabilities of Writesonic's AI SEO agent. So it went through and automatically made this table that these are the features, these are the capabilities, these are the benefits, all of that. Efficiency, what are the main value propositions in terms of the efficiency, cost savings, time savings, ranking improvements. Pricing also, it automatically took out from our website. If you saw, it went to our Writesonic pricing landing page. So all the pricing it automatically took out. It also gives you references where that information came from. So nothing is hallucinated here. Then it is talking about a competitive analysis. So it automatically identified these competitors for our, let's say, agent. And it mentioned who's the target audience for that, what's the pricing. It took out the pricing for each one of those competitors also here. Then what are the unique value propositions that our agent has? What is the market positioning? What are the primary keyword metrics? So in this case for AI SEO, 27,000 search volume and all that. Again, you can click on this button. It will show you the full view. You can also click on this export button to get an export as a CSV file, similar to how you would do on Ahrefs or any other similar tools. Then all the related keywords it listed out, long tail opportunities, SERP landscape, as we saw. And then all of the other things. So it's doing all of this analysis. You can, again, spend time, go through this. Key elements of a SaaS landing page it took out that needs to have some feature highlight, social proof, pricing, FAQ section, call to action, all of these kinds of things. And now let's jump into the final report, which is the actual actionable thing. This is the thing that you actually consume. If you want, you can skip the research one, And here, again, same data around AI SEO. In this case, it mentioned, create a comprehensive guide on AI SEO, where you cover all aspects related to AI and SEO, benefits, implementation, future trends, target related keywords. So these are the keywords, these are the long tail keywords we need to target. And then 3,000 word in-depth article. Then some other content pieces it mentioned, like certain case studies you should do, and comparison of AI tools. Mention the cost efficiency compared to agencies. So all of that kind of stuff. Then on-page SEO optimization, it's also telling that use this kind of a heading there, this subheading, highlight these features, all of that, and then technical SEO, link building, all of those kinds of things. Again, you can spend time, go through this. Also, the more specific your prompt, the better the results would be. In this case, I kind of gave a very generic one. But if I mention something like analyze the intent and figure out if I want to do a landing page or a blog, or I should write a case study or something. So the more detailed your prompt or more specific the prompt, the better it would be. But this is just an example I gave as someone who is not an expert, right? So that was the first use case. Let me try and show something else. Let's say a very common use case. I think we did a survey internally a few days back. A lot of people are using our agent for keyword research. So let's say you have a simple query, something like do comprehensive keyword research on SEO tools in US. I'll just hit the send button. It will again work in a similar way, but you don't need to pay for any tools here. Writesonic will handle this automatically based on Ahrefs, based on keyword planner and all of that. So again, it will go through that thinking process. It will break it down into steps, and then it will start doing our keyword research for us, right? While this is doing this, we'll come back to it because it does take some time because it's doing a lot of stuff here. So it will do all that keyword research and everything again. It will create clusters for us. There's another one that we also recently launched, which is separate from this chat interface. We call it the site audit agent. So if you go to homepage, and once you sort of click on this site audit button over here on the sidebar, if you see, or you can also click here. I have already entered the website. You can also, when you go for the first time, it will sort of take time to analyze your website. So this is version 1. We are working on some more things, but I'll just give a quick walkthrough. So here it is giving a site health score. It analyzes mostly on-page SEO and a bit of technical SEO. And it audits your website basically. The first 100 pages of your website. It does not do the whole website yet. We are working on scaling it to analyze your entire website because it takes hours to analyze bigger websites. So in this case, what it does right now, it analyzes top 100 pages of your website, whether the ones which are ranking or the ones which have most sort of internally linked, pages. And it shows you the domain rating, organic traffic, backlinks, referring domains, all that. And then it divides the report into multiple categories: indexable content, which is ready to be indexed on search engines, content quality, social and rich results in terms of open graph tags, not indexable content, and so on. So a lot of different ones here. We are also working on making it even more comprehensive, where it will cover like 50 or 100 more issues. But it already identifies a lot of good on-page SEO ones. So let's say some of them have too short titles, right? 32 pages affected. What you can also do now is click this Fix with AI button. It will show you a list of all of those different ones. And I actually already did it, but there's usually a button that pops up here which says Fix using AI. What that will do is it will use our agent to automatically go through all of those pages, identify the top keywords for those pages, and give you the suggested page title here, as it is doing right now. And then there's a script that we are working on. So later this week, we are releasing a script, a JavaScript like script, which you can install on your website, whether it is WordPress, whether it is Webflow, whether it is custom website, doesn't matter. You just need to install that script, and you kind of go and either manually approve all those, or you just click on this apply all fixes button, and it will automatically apply all those changes on your website without you needing a developer to do that. So only once you need a developer to implement that script, and then it will automatically fix certain issues. And each of these things actually are approved by you. So we don't automatically apply those fixes. Only when you either click apply all fixes or you manually go and approve or deny kind of thing, only those ones will automatically apply so that you are 100% sure that these are the right fixes. Similarly, if you have any other ones, maybe let's say meta description too long, right? Let's try here, suggest fixes with AI. So it's about 10 different pages. It's giving the meta descriptions. And let's say I'll just click the suggest fixes button here. This will go through each of those pages parallelly. It's an AI agent that goes through all of those pages. And then it will come up with the suggested meta descriptions here. Yeah, it will take time based on how many pages you have. But yeah, this will give you a good sense here. This is still in beta again. Gives very good results, but I would say it's still in beta, but you can already start using it. So if you see here, these are within the limits, and one by one, all of these will start popping up here, right? And once you're happy with it, install the script, click the apply fix button, and you're good to go. All of those issues would be, all of those fixes would be applied directly on your website. And yeah, also one more thing actually, in terms of those fixes, it's not hard coded that you just go with what AI gave you. You can also very well just come here and edit as needed. So it's totally in your control. It's a human in the loop approach. All right. So I'll jump back to our SEO agent. So I think what I had asked it is to do a keyword research on SEO tools in US. And it basically did a research there, 74,000 search volume, search intent being commercial. All of these keyword opportunities it listed out: SEO tools free, AI SEO tools, best SEO tools, then long tail keywords like SEO audit tools, SEO review tools, and so on. This is just a gist of what it gave. What you can also then do is give a follow-up prompt, like maybe give me 30 more keyword suggestions, something like that. So you can very well iterate on it. Maybe the first iteration might not be the perfect every time. So you can always go and iterate on it just like you do with ChatGPT as well. And one other thing here, it tells you which agent it used because it is an auto mode. It will tell you if it used just SEO agent or content agent or both, right? So I think those were some of the keyword queries. Let's jump into some other interesting ones. So first of all, I'll talk about, we talked about our SEO agent. We showed you 2 queries there. Now let's talk about the content agent as well. how the content agent works, and I'll take a query to just demonstrate that as well. Let's say my query was help me create some Google ad copy for Writesonic's SEO AI agent, similar to how we did just now. And I'll hit the send button, and I'll explain quickly how this is different from ChatGPT. So one thing you'll notice, what it does is, if you go to ChatGPT, it's very generic. It will just start producing the results right away. How this content agent that we have works is it will first ask you some clarifying questions to understand who your target audience is, what kind of ads are you trying to create in this case. Based on all of those insights, it will then go and figure out the best practices in this case for, let's say, Google Ads. Or let's say if you were doing Facebook ads, it would do the same for that. So let's first answer these questions. So first thing it is asking, what type of campaign is this for? Is it competitor targeting? Is it a general brand awareness? Is it a promotional campaign? Let's say I go with general brand awareness. Second thing is, who is your primary target audience? Let's say I do all of these. And third one is, are there any special offers? Let's say 30% off first 3 months. Right now, that's all the information that the agent needs. Now, what it will do is that, again, it will create a plan out of it, and it will break it down into multiple steps. And I'll tell you what it does. One, it will go and figure out the best practices for that kind of a content. So if I'm talking about Google Ads, the best practices for Google Ads are that your title needs to be 30 characters, your description needs to be 90 characters. You can't have capitalized words in your copy. So all of those kinds of things, it will go to Google's website, it will go to some industry specific websites and learn all of those best practices. So if you see here, get best practices and guidelines for creating effective Google Ads, particularly for SaaS. So the other thing that it is doing here is it is also going and finding your industry specific examples for Google Ads. Like for example, if we are in the SaaS industry, it will find what are the best Google Ads for the SaaS industry. Then it will also do keyword research here to figure out what are the right keywords that you should use for a paid ads campaign. And then based on all of that, it will then create your final copy. One other step that we are also adding here, it's not live yet, but if you, for example, do a lot of, let's say, ads, every ad platform, whether you talk about Google Ads, whether you talk about Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads, has a ads library. So many of you might be aware that, for example, Facebook has an ads library called the Meta Ads library. Google has Google Transparency Center. So we are integrating with each of those tools. So what it will be able to do is it will go to your competitors, check your competitors' ads through Facebook ads library or Google Transparency Center, use their ads and learn their strategies, and then create your copy for you. So you can think how much it is doing, just like how an actual copywriter or a growth marketer would do. All of those things it is going to do here. So that ads library bit is not live, but the rest of the things are live here. So we'll just quickly go through the steps. First thing it did is, again, analyze what are the what is SEO agent, what are the features, what are the pricing, what are the reviews, who are the competitors, what are the best points about competitors or bad points about competitors, right? Second thing is it did keyword research on AI SEO tool. Now remember, I didn't specify that my keyword was AI SEO. It automatically figured that out, that the AI SEO tool would be a right keyword to put an ad on this. Then it got all those best practices. It synthesized the findings, and I'll show you the research report here. So very first thing it did is went very deep into like a Google search to identify what are the best points. So all of these points it automatically took out. I didn't touch anything. It took out the pricing. It took out, the competitors, Claude, ChatGPT, all that. Each of them, like the pricing for each of them, which models are they using, all these kinds of things. Cost efficiency, audience segment, SEO professionals, marketing agencies. So all of this keyword research it did here, keyword variants and variations and opportunities, long tail keywords. So all of this, a lot of research it did. One other interesting thing you'll see here is these best practices that it took out, right? That you need to have these many headings, you need to have these many CTAs, ad extensions, USPs, and then some examples. Like it took out the Nike sneakers ad, took out the Grammarly ad because we are in the SaaS industry. So all of these kinds of things it took out in the research report. And when I go to the final output, again, as I mentioned, you don't need to go through the research report. If you want, you can go. But if you see here, it gave 5 different variations for my ad copy. First one is, first variation is focusing on AI SEO capability. So it is talking about, AI SEO tool, rank higher, 30% off, and these descriptions. Second one is targeting marketing agencies. So it used SEO AI tool for agencies or scale your client results, white label reports, all those kinds of things. Third focuses on business owners. So here the copy change to outrank your competitors or boost your traffic. Then a content creator angle, which is like optimize every post. And then efficiency in terms of costs, like 30% off or cut costs, replace your agency and all that kind of stuff, right? So a lot of different variations. You can also again give a follow-up prompt to give it like 100 more variations and it will go and do that based on various other keywords as well. So that's like a quick sneak peek of our content AI agent. This is a very simple example. You can also try it on other things as well, whether it is your blogs or whether it is your landing pages. And by the way, Reddit I mentioned is also integrated here. So for certain things, it will actually also go to Reddit, figure out the pain points in, let's say, certain communities or subreddits, and then based on that, it will create that final report or output for you. So that was on content agent. Now let's jump onto something a little bit, different from, let's say, keywords. So let's say I wanted to do a backlink analysis, right? And I have a prompt already ready here. So I'll say I want to rank a landing page, again, AI SEO keyword. Can you check the competitors for this and let me know how many unique backlinks I need to build to rank on top 5 results here? And also let me know the common websites that the competitors are using that I can also get backlinks from. So what this will do is it will basically, identify that, okay, 5 of my competitors are getting links from, let's say, Wikipedia. Then it will say that, oh, you should also get a link from Wikipedia because that's a common one across your sites. Or maybe some of them are getting, 2 of them are getting links from Ahrefs. Then it will say that, you should probably also go and reach out to Ahrefs to give you a backlink as well. So that kind of a thing it does. And you will see again here, SERP overview, we already saw. It will analyze the SERP. Then it is going to check the backlink profiles of those 5 competitors using Ahrefs' backlink analysis APIs. And then based on all of this stuff, it will come back with certain domains that it has identified, which are common across some of these competitors. So you can see here, this website, 614 backlinks, SEO.ai, 21,000 backlinks, all that. Right. And it will take a couple of seconds and then it will start producing our output. Now, while it does this, I'll again jump onto a second one, similar to backlinks, but just to save time. So one thing a lot of SEO people do is, let's say, toxic backlink analysis, where you need to identify the domains that you need to disavow so that your, the spam score of your website does not go up. So I've just written a simple prompt: perform a comprehensive backlink analysis for rightsign.com, identify at least 20 potential harmful domains that could be considered for disavowal. I'll send that. So let's see what this does. And let's see if our other report is ready. So research report is ready. It's writing the final output one. In the meanwhile, if anyone has any questions, please keep writing it in the Q&A section. Our team will answer some of those, and rest I'll also cover towards the end of the couple of these demos. And I'll be wrapping up in like 5 to 10 minutes, and then we can take on more questions. Yeah. So yeah, here you can already see it is doing all that analysis. It mentioned that you need roughly 1,000 to 1,500 unique backlinks if you want to really rank high there, and roughly 250 to 300 referring domains. This is based on aggregate data. Of course, there are outliers, but this is based on aggregate data based on those top 5 competitors it considered. And it automatically identified, if you see, that these are some common high authority websites linking to multiple top competitors. So it mentioned that Backlinko, for example, 90DR, links to both AliAI.com, which was identified as a competitor, and this other website, right? Similarly, it mentioned Neil Patel and HubSpot and all of these. So it gave an analysis of that. And then also it talks about some of the other strategies we can do, like, you can create a guide or you can do Haro. Some of them are again generic. We are working on improving these so that every point that you see here is more actionable. But yeah, this will also improve. But it's still like decent suggestions it gave around, you know, which subreddits and all that to participate on, like participate on the Search Engine Journal show or these different podcasts to get some backlinks. So yeah, a couple of interesting things there. And then again, you can give a follow-up prompt that, okay, give me some more, which are less than 50 DR, let's say, because that might be easier to get backlinks from. So yeah, I'll close this one. Let's come back to our other report, which was the toxic backlink analysis. So let's see what this one is doing. So yeah, it's still analyzing that. But yeah, if you see here, one second. The sum of it has already given in our research report itself here. So if you see here, all of these ones, it has mentioned as a little bit spammy ones where, 0 DR, 0.1 DR, that kind of stuff. And yeah, all of this, if you see here, so many different ones. And also gives the justification why potentially you should disavow them. Because low DR, short-lived link, or low DR, no traffic. So all of the analysis it will give you there. And again, this is just a sample. You can try out as kind of complex query as you want. And also let us know what you're trying out so we can further keep improving it. Now, let's see if one or two other ones we can do very quickly. This is a common one. I'll just try this. I think many of the people, rather than writing content, they need to know why it is not ranking. So again, simple query. I want to rank for the keyword AI agent, but our blog, let's say this one, even after writing a very detailed one, it is not ranking. So I'll just send it to it. Let's see what analysis it comes up with. And then there's one more I'll do around little bit different. Let's say competitor analysis, or if you want to learn the SEO strategies of your competitors. So I would say something like, I want to learn from ahrefs.com success. What are they doing right with their SEO that we could adopt for Writesonic? Let's send that also. Yeah, so this will take some time. Actually, one more I'll try just so we are parallelizing the effort. This is again a very interesting one. Let's say if you want to find some lower hanging fruits, which is basically some blogs that are ranking between positions, let's say 11th to 20th. I wanted to identify those and tell me what I can do to push them in top 10. Because usually those are the ones where with the least amount of effort you can get them to rank. So I'm just saying here, help me find keywords that would be quick wins for Writesonic's blog, particularly looking at positions 11 to 20, which could be pushed to top 10, and only pick one unique keyword per page that has the most traffic potential. Let's send that also. All right. Now we'll just quickly check what is happening with our previous ones. So yeah, this one was about, why this is not ranking. So it is understanding the SERP landscape, doing technical SEO analysis using our internal audit tool. So it's analyzing the technical SEO of that specific page, checking current rankings, uh, and then analyzing top ranking pages, comparing the content gaps and keyword gaps, and then based on that, we'll come up with like some suggestions for us. So let's go from top to bottom. So the SERP features for AI agent, I mentioned here, no news or videos, mostly snippets, image, question, knowledge panel. Current performance overview for Writesonic blog. And then competitor analysis, IBM, AWS. These are the websites that are ranking on the top 5 or 10 places. Then it did a SEO analysis, like an audit kind of thing, like in terms of the word count, in terms of the title tag, how many characters in title tag, H1 tag, schema markup, indexing if the page is indexed or not. Then backlink profile evaluation, like how many backlinks we have for that keyword, and so on, right? And then the final output, let's go through. So it has mentioned restructure, your current content is substantial. It automatically identified the words. This might not be 100% accurate because there's sometimes some scraping issues because maybe the header or the footer code sometimes gets also mentioned in the word count function, but it's almost close to that. So mention the word count, then mention certain action items like restructure in terms of how you should structure that in terms of the outline. And then it mentioned create a comprehensive table of different AI agent types, their capabilities and ideal use cases, create an original infographic here, maybe a short explainer video, host it on YouTube and embed it on your blog, and include some interactive elements like a quiz kind of thing. Then add these FAQs these are based on people also ask questions like is ChatGPT an AI agent? What is the best AI agent? Then says while you have a valid JSON LD schema, implement an article schema with some additional properties. Then internal linking also strategy, it mentioned all of that. Page speed, it did mention it is not able to automatically do page speed at the moment, but very soon we are adding page speed insights integration. So it will automatically also be able to do a page speed analysis and give you some actionable suggestions there. And then a bit about backlinks. So pretty comprehensive. Again, you can go and ask follow-up questions here to give you some other details as well. Let's close this. Let's go to the second one. So second one was, I want to learn from Ahrefs' success. So this was like a competitor analysis kind of one. What are they doing right and what can we adopt? So it has done all that comparison that Ahrefs right now is at 191,000 organic keywords. Let's say we are at 50,000. So there's a huge difference there. Then top 3 rankings, all of that, keyword strategy, top ranking keywords. No, this is a weird one. I don't know where it took that from. Paragraph writer, sentence writer, humanizer, all of that, key observation. So all of the very detailed analysis it did, backlink analysis, observations on that. And then it's asking me to expand the keyword coverage, improve the content depth, all that. So it gives you some detailed analysis there. Use a hub and spoke model for certain topics. So that was on that. And again, if you see it went through, check the distribution for Ahrefs, for Writesonic, organic rankings, backlink profile, keyword research, all of those tools being called. And I mentioned more tools are being integrated very soon. And then the final one here was the low hanging fruit, like help me identify top pages which are ranking on second page, but I can push them to the first page. So yeah, if you see here, all of these it has identified. And then these suggestions, page specific opportunities it has given me as well. So yeah, a lot of details there. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's a gist of how the agent works. Of course, this is still very early, but already most of these use cases that I mentioned and anything related to these tools, you can already do pretty well. You can just come here, do that. We're also working on making it even more deeper in terms of keyword research, where it can do research across thousands of keywords. So all that is coming very soon. And also other integrations are coming. So I'm sure if you just post in the comments, any other tools that you're looking to integrate, will be onto it. Our team is noting down all the tool requests. Yeah, so that's about that. We are open to Q&A now. So I'll just quickly jump into the Q&A and see if there are any questions that have not been answered yet. I'll take those up. And also do answer the poll that you see on your screen. So let's see. Okay. Q&A. Okay, I'll start with Q&A. I think 58 questions have already been answered. Great job, team. So I'll cover some of the remaining ones. And then rest, I think, from maybe like the webinar chat also, we can see some of them. Is there any document you can provide on cost saving that can be done using ChatSonic? We don't have a document as such, but if you see already, Ahrefs is what, like $129 per month. Then you have ChatGPT subscription if you're paying, let's say, for something like deep research or ChatGPT Pro. We kind of do deep research already, as you saw. Um, then bunch of other things like, I mentioned keywords everywhere is here. We are also looking to integrate any other tools. If you know of any other paid SEO tools or marketing tools, all of those will be bringing in here. So either you can directly use the integrations from here, or if you already have an account, let's say with Ahrefs or SEMrush or any of these, you can also directly do a OAuth login. So that is also something we are coming up with in maybe a couple of weeks, where instead of using our APIs, you can directly connect your Ahrefs or your SEMrush account. So that way you can still keep using Ahrefs, but that same subscription can also be used here as well. And you won't be charged credits for those queries, right? Um, yeah, so a lot of cost saving you would have basically once you start using it. I think Pooja asked a question, just like in Ahrefs, we get a bunch of websites through Content Explorer. List out the websites, blog mentioning networking tools. Yeah, I think it should be able to give that data. We have integrated with most of the Ahrefs APIs. So I am pretty sure I think it should be able to do that. If it is not able to do that, do let us know. And yeah, if we have not integrated it for some reason, if it got left off, we can integrate it. But most probably, yeah, all of those API level features of Ahrefs are integrated in this agent. Okay, so I'll mark this one as done. Then I think we have, I'm looking to start a blog on trying to monetize through affiliate marketing niche, which is, yeah, I mean, this has access, as I mentioned, to Google, to Ahrefs, everything. So if you give it some guidance in terms of what are the categories you're interested in, it will be able to come up and suggest you which categories you can pick up for your affiliate marketing. And it will also give you suggestions based on your competitors, based on the, the cost per acquisition values, like if companies are running paid ads on that. So those are all good signals. Or you can also do actually a Reddit research here. So if you do something like go to Reddit and do a research on what is trending on the SEO subreddit, it will do all of that here. So you can try that as well. Okay, I think next one, a lot of questions. Once the output is ready, can we use Writesonic to implement the recommendations? Yes, you can do that. So any of those recommendations that you saw, let's say if it mentioned that you need to do this pillar page or whatever, you can very well just in that same chat do a follow-up prompt that, okay, now can you create this pillar page for me? And it will do that. Second thing that we're also adding is in that final output report, there would be CTAs or buttons next to each of those items that it mentioned. So you can just click on that also and it will automatically create that output for you. So that is also coming up soon, but you can already do that if you type it in the follow-up prompts there. Do you have an integrated plagiarism checker tool? Not inside AI agent at the moment, but yeah, if you have a use case for that, do let us know. We didn't see a lot of value with an agent there. You can already do that. Actually, if you go to Writesonic, if you click on, if you open an editor window, there you can, we do have Copyscape integrated. So if you go to all content templates here, just paste your text here. And once you paste your text, you can go and click on this plagiarism checker. This uses Copyscape API in the background. And you can use that for now as a workaround to do a plagiarism check. But yeah, it's not available right now as an integrated tool inside the chat, but you can do that through our editor. This is a very good question. I think an anonymous attendee asked, I personally feel SEO websites become outdated as most of the people can get this information via Perplexity, DeepSeek, all that. How relevant is our website to promote with this? So I actually wrote a whole thought leadership piece on this, like a whole article on this. You can check it out. Basically, SEO is not going anywhere because search is not going anywhere, right? Search, the interface for that might change, of course, but search in itself is not going anywhere. Maybe instead of Google, you'll go and search on Perplexity, but search itself is not going anywhere. So let me see where that blog was, this one. So I've just posted in the webinar chat. you can go and go through that, go through that blog. But yeah, essentially, there is what we see in terms of SEO this year and going forward would be that SEO won't be just search engine optimization; it would be search everywhere optimization. This is what also Neil Patel and a lot of the industry experts are talking about. And the way we think about that is, let's say, three levels of search engines. One is your traditional search engines, where you have things like Google, Bing, all of these traditional search engines. Second is your AI engines, which is basically Google AI overviews, Perplexity, DeepSeek, ChatGPT search. And third is social platforms. So a lot of searches for products directly happen on Amazon. A lot of the tutorial or video related searches happen on YouTube, TikTok, all of these platforms. So our idea of SEO is, okay, right now we are starting with Google here, but we are also bringing GEO, like generative engine optimization, very soon. Actually, we have a free tool that is going live. I think it's already live or it's going live, I think, in a day or so. So team, if you can post that link here, if it is already live, but that's a generative engine optimization free tool that can show you your brand presence across ChatGPT and all of these three of these other platforms. So you can see how your brand ranks and, what kind of queries are you showing up for. It's very basic at the moment, but that is also something the GEO bit you'll see evolve in the next couple of weeks, and it will be a part of agent itself. Like you can just come here and ask, you know, can you do an analysis of how things are going in terms of, Perplexity mentioning our product, right? And it will show you a very detailed analysis there, show you how much brand presence you have and so on. So if you see in the chat, there are two free tools we have created. It's very basic at the moment, but it'll show you some data in terms of how ChatGPT sort of presents your brand and how it sees it. And yeah, more advanced versions of it would be coming inside Agent as well. So sorry, long answer, but yeah, hopefully that answers your question. How can I send you an image so you can see it? Image, if you're talking in terms of Zoom, I don't think that is possible right now. Maybe you can send a link in the webinar chat, or you can email us. We can answer your query later on. You can just email at support@writesonic.com as well. Amit asked, can it automatically update Google Ads and Facebook Ads in our Google Slides template? Does it integrate with Google Slides? Not at the moment. It does not integrate with Google Slides at the moment. But as I mentioned, if you just list down which tools you guys are looking for, in this case, Google Slides, one by one, we are going to pick it up based on the popularity. So the most number of requests, we'll just prioritize it in our roadmap based on that. But yeah, for now, you can export everything. You can share it. You can just go and just copy paste manually for now. Then there's a question, can you please confirm the credits and how we could use this tool in our existing plans? So this actually does not use credits. If you are on the standard plan or higher, this is kind of unlimited. So it's part of your plan. There's no credits or anything like that. It's based on generation. So as long as you don't hit the fair usage policy, it's all included. You don't have any limits as such, unless you are a very, very, very heavy user. But yeah, you can just come and use it. I think for the individual plan, it's about 10 generations you'll get in a month. But on standard and higher plans, it's kind of unlimited. It's half the price of, OpenAI, this Pro, as well as, cheaper than Ahrefs and lot of these other tools. So I don't think that's a bad proposition. So do try it out. It's kind of unlimited on those plans. This seems very similar to Claude interface. Is this developed as Claude project? We took inspiration definitely from Claude, but this is nothing to do with Claude. We definitely use Claude model here. You can also change it to O3 Mini from OpenAI as well. But for most cases, we have found that Claude still works the best in terms of the responses. But yeah, you can play around with the other one as well. And more models also will be coming here as we test out. We don't want to do it like some other platforms where we're just pushing out random AI models. Our goal is that the agent should give you better output than the previous model. Only then we'll be adding a model. So in this case, O3 is a good model. So we've added that. And maybe next one, whichever model comes up, if it's working well in terms of SEO, then only we'll add it here and you can switch to it. Will it also check for errors on robots.txt and existing sitemap, maybe when crawl URLs restricted on robots? In terms of crawling URLs restricted on robots, if you directly mention here, it should be able to do that. Robots is more for like Google stuff, so we don't work in that way. And robots.txt, I think, yeah, if you just paste in your like something like this, if you just paste in the link of your robots.txt file, or you copy paste it or upload a file, in that case, yeah, it can identify errors there. It can suggest any improvements and so on. Can you share the website integration for SEO? Will it work with BigCommerce? Not sure what you mean there. BigCommerce, if you're looking to export something from here to BigCommerce or how you want to do it, maybe if you can clarify that. But BigCommerce, yeah, if you can mention some use case uh, in terms of you're looking to get some data out or anything like that. But if you're referring to our audit one, that script will be installable on any platform, whether it is BigCommerce or WooCommerce or any website builder or custom as well. I think this one we already covered. Thank you, Dipali. Yeah, hopefully you can test it out. I think a lot of time you'll definitely save in terms of, and you can also pick up multiple clients as well. Do you think AI content will rank and works in the SERP? It does rank. You can go and check our blog and you can check our data on Ahrefs. It does rank. Uh, I wouldn't say that you just directly generate and just push it like that. There's about 10 to 20% of polishing that would be needed from your side. So would definitely recommend adding internal links, adding images, external links to back up any information, EEAT factor, adding some maybe quotes so that again that EAT factors are met. So as long as you're doing a little bit, maybe 30 minutes you're taking to polish the AI content, it will rank as long as you have a good DR, you have some backlinks and all. So it's a complex question, but yeah, as long as the other things are in place, content in terms of AI is not an issue. Integration with Page Optimizer Pro or Surfer SEO. Page Optimizer Pro will check out. I don't think we've heard of it before. Surfer SEO, we won't be integrating with Surfer SEO. We actually had an integration before, but what you'll be seeing very soon is we are coming up with our own content audit and our own optimization tool, which is very kind of, it's like a combination of, you can think of Surfer SEO, Ahrefs, content grader, and all those kinds of things. So that would be a tool from Writesonic itself that will be coming up very soon. So you'll be able to do all that Surfer SEO does, but even much more than that here. I think Ivan asked a question about ChatGPT and search volume for all that. I think I already covered this. So going forward, how we see this evolving is right now you have all the traditional search data. Traditional search is not going away anytime soon. But as I mentioned, all the generative optimization data, as we build out those databases, that will be coming up. We'll be the first ones to give you generative engine optimization and data around that. So you don't have to worry about that. Start with Google, and as the volumes increase for GEO, those will be also added here. So you don't have to worry about anything. Sometimes we want to use our own content, but do not want to let it use for chat training. How do I keep it private? In terms of security, we use enterprise grade servers, and we are actually, for example, if we are using an OpenAI model, it's not hosted on normal OpenAI, it's hosted on Azure OpenAI. So it's basically all enterprise grade. There's no training that happens. There's no data retention that happens there. You can check through Azure's guidelines if you go to, I think it's called Azure Generative, something like that. Maybe this one, Azure OpenAI Service, I think. You can check the terms and conditions there. But yeah, we don't do any kind of training or processing on your data. Same thing for Claude and all those other models as well. Can we also do gap analysis like SEMrush? Yes. Gap analysis, basic one you can do right now. We have a much more complex one coming up later this week. So we have a content gap analysis and a keyword gap analysis, like a more advanced tool that is coming up later this week. So that is something that will give you even better content gap analysis than even SEMrush, actually. I think someone talked about, Amit, like make.com. This is actually a very interesting question. So one thing I think probably a lot of people, a lot of marketers are seeing is a lot of people are building a lot of kind of custom agents using N8N or make.com. We are totally aware of that. And our idea is that most of those integrations that make.com provides or N8N provides, first of all, it's kind of technical. You need to integrate APIs, you need to get a bunch of things, all of that. We want you to be want you to not go there actually in terms of because those workflows are kind of complex. But in a couple of weeks, what you'll see is all of those workflows, complex ones, you can create here and you can save them and execute them n number of times, similar to how, for example, ChatGPT is doing tasks. So you can save your workflow or save your prompt and you can execute it n number of times on different topics. And instead of, for example, going to make or N8N and doing these nodes and all that tree structure and all those, buttons and all that kind of stuff, all you need to do here is whatever you're doing in make.com or N8N, you just come here, you do step number one, go to Reddit and analyze this, right? Whatever that you're doing. Step number two, you say something like now create clusters out of that. So it's basically that entire workflow, which takes you like an hour or a couple of hours to create those complex workflows in make.com or N8N. Most of them already, you can just come here and define it in this order where, okay, first do this, then do that. You can already do that here. And some even more complex ones and saving of those workflows will be coming up with as we evolve this product. But we don't see us going in that direction of nodes and all that stuff. Does it make recommendations for Google Ads and can help build an advertisement strategy to go along with the SEO recommendation? It does. You can, as I mentioned, you can use the content agent to do that. So all of that together. And actually, as I mentioned, if you put it on auto mode, SEO and content work together. So your both SEO stuff and your paid performance marketing strategy can be done together. We'll take last few questions. I've observed rights on a humanized content is still being detected for AI. So this is one thing. When we talk about our humanizer, I think a lot of people have this misconception. When we say humanize, we don't care about it being detected by any of these tools, whether it is all this originality.ai and all that. When we say humanize, it's basically should be readable by humans. It should be readable by search engines. That is what we mean when we say humanized. I know there's a lot of stuff in the market around these AI detection tools and stuff, but we in our survey, in our analysis, have not found it to be worth it, where we sort of optimize it to not be detected as AI. Because in most cases, any tools you use to bypass those tools would mess up introduce some spelling mistakes or do some weird stuff with your content. So that is not something we are optimizing for. We are optimizing for actually improving the readability and the overall performance of your article and content. Can it help with local SEO? Yes, you just type in a query around local SEO, it will be able to do that. Does it take care of link building as well? Link building, I showed some of the features in terms of certain things. So you can use it to identify certain, skyscraper kind of stuff you can do. You can do certain other methodologies there. Certain other ones like broken link building or outreach, that would be coming up soon. So with broken link building, for example, it will automatically crawl a bunch of websites, suggest you which ones to reach out to, or it would also be able to do Harrow as well. So where we are adding an AI agent for Harrow soon, where it will automatically identify opportunities related to your niche or your industry, and it will send you emails or give you notifications when such an opportunity comes out. GEO, I think I've already covered a bit. You can learn more here in this blog that I shared. But essentially, GEO is generative engine optimization. How can you make it rank for these AI engines? Also, one kind of fun fact there, there's a new sort of way we have figured out. We have not released that tool, but a new optimization way we have figured out where, let's say if you're ranking on the first page or not first page, let's say the ChatGPT responses, if you're ranking in the top 5 or top 10 results based on SERP, because it reads from Google or Bing SERP, we can get you ranked on the first or second position. So that is something we are experimenting with. We are having some good results. So that is something that will be inbuilt into our agent, where you can just say, optimize my website for this keyword to rank on ChatGPT search, and it will make certain changes in terms of your content. And in most cases, it will help you increase your rankings on ChatGPT results. So that is something it's under testing. If you would like to test it out, we are taking in some beta testers. Do drop your emails in the chat, and our team will reach out and we can uh, involve you in the private beta there. Should we integrate our Ahrefs or your API within in terms of cost efficiency? So if you're using us directly, you don't need to worry about APIs or anything. It's all handled for you in terms of Ahrefs or any other tools we support. What I was mentioning, the other thing is you don't need to connect an API. We'll do an OAuth integration. So as long as you have an Ahrefs login and you have a paid subscription there, you'll also be able to connect your own Ahrefs account later on. But right now you don't have to worry because all of that is automatically integrated here, as you can see. I think few other questions, some of them are common ones. Can you omit pages from site audit? Not at the moment, but you can kind of ignore those ones. Like I think I showed there is a button there, so you can ignore those suggestions, only apply the ones which you care about. Will there be a Chrome extension as such that analyzes top parameters on website we visit? I think we do have that extension. I don't remember if it does it right now, but I think we have it planned. So definitely, like if you Google Writesonic Chrome extension, I think we added something like that detailed SEO Chrome extension, something around that. So it should be able to do that. You can check this extension out. I think it does do that. So you can check it out and see once. Will you automatically keep us informed as you add functionality? Right. So if you are part of this webinar, we'll send you a follow-up email. And then if you just sign up on the platform, you'll receive all the emails, all the product updates from us. Okay, I think we'll just take one or two more and then we'll sort of wrap it up. Chat has been disabled, so we'll just enable that. Fair usage policy, as long as you don't do like 1,000 generations in a day, so that messes up everyone else's thing, that's kind of fair usage. There's no specific limit as such, but it's more based on that. Yeah, I think almost all the questions are covered. We'll send you a recording. If you have any other questions, please reach out to support@writesonic.com. And also, do sign up, try out the tool, and we'll send out more details over email. So you'll have a discount code. You'll get like a free sort of a ebook or a guide kind of thing as well. And you'll get a recording link for this webinar as well. So yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot for joining. Thanks a lot for listening in. And we hope you had a great time and learned a bit about AI agents. And we'll be doing a new webinar on this very soon, where again, we'll introduce some more tools. But until then, thanks a lot for watching, and